In the last few days, there have been disturbing events in Canada that have highlighted growing tension within the Indian diaspora and between India and Canada. On Saturday, two places of worship, one a gurdwara, that is a Sikh temple, and another one a Hindu temple, was vandalized in Surrey, British Columbia, with anti-India and pro-Khalistan messages painted on the wall. Now, this happened just before the Khalsa Parade, a big Sikh event where the situation became even more heated. The Khalsa Parade, held every single year in Surrey, attracts thousands of people. And this time, there were wanted posters of high-profile Indian leaders such as Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. These posters were part of a larger display of anti-India sentiment that spread outrage. In fact, in some cases, the situation was so worse that some videos from the event showed pro-Khalistan activists waving flags and calling for Indians, specifically Hindus, to go back to their own country. The Khalsa Parade itself was massive, with over 550,000 people in attendance. It's a celebration of Sikh culture and history too, but this year it was marked by the appearance of Khalistan supporters who are pushing for a separate Sikh state called Khalistan. Let me tell you, not all Sikhs want this Khalistan state, but these activities see India's treatment of Sikh as oppressive, and some are calling for violent action to achieve their goals. But these people are just minorities. This year's parade also attracted political leaders, including pro-Khalistan, leader of Conservative Party in Canada, and Jagmeet Singh, leader of New Democratic Party. Notably, Liberal leader Mark Carney did not attend the event, which raised eyebrows. These events show how deeply divided some parts of the Canadian political landscape have become over the Khalistan issue. The vandalism of both the Gurdwara and the Hindu temple in Surrey is seen as part of a larger, ongoing struggle within the Sikh community in Canada. The Gurdwara, which is traditionally a peaceful place for Sikhs to gather, has been targeted by pro-Khalistan elements. The temple, which serves Hindu, was also vandalized with the same kind of hateful graffiti. Let me tell you that this is the third time the temple has been attacked, and it shows how tensions between different communities are escalating. Let's talk about the past now. The relationship between the Indian government and Khalistani extremists has been very complex. On one hand, there are many Sikhs in Canada who are deeply proud of their heritage, including India, and want to preserve their culture peacefully. On the other hand, a small group, but a very vocal one, of pro-Khalistan activists want to create a separate state for Sikhs, which India strongly opposes. Now, this divide has led to violent incidents in the past within the Sikh community. The most famous case was the attack in 1985, which killed 329 people. Many of them were Canadians of Indian descent. The people who were behind this particular attack were pro-Khalistan activists. And more recently, Indian officials have been accused of being involved in the assassination of a Sikh Khalistan leader, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who supported the Khalistan movement. Now, these tensions have caused a lot of worry both in Canada and in India. Now, talking about the solution, then the vandalism of the Gurdwara and Hindu temples have led to a lot of anger and calls for action. The Khalsa Diwan Society, which runs the Gurdwara, condemned the attack, saying that it was a small group of extremists causing the harm to the community. They also emphasized that these actions go against the value of Sikhism, which promotes peace and unity. In Surrey, the police are investigating the attack currently, but there are concerns that they may not be taking the issue serious enough. Some people in the community feel that the authorities are not doing enough to protect religious side from these type of attacks by the extremists. One journalist, Daniel Bodman, visited the Lakshmi Mandir and reported that the community feels ignored by both the police and political leaders. In the meantime, politicians like pro-Khalistan have found themselves in a very difficult position. Khalistan visited the Guru Nanak Mission Center in Brampton, which is considered by some to be pro-Khalistani. His visit sparked controversy, specifically since they called the late Hardeep Singh Nijjar a martyr. Bollywood's association with controversial figures like MP Tim Uppal has added fuel to the fire, as Uppal has ties to the group that support Khalistan's ideology. You know why this matters so much for Canada specifically? Canada prides itself on being a multicultural country where people of all backgrounds live together peacefully. However, incidents like vandalism of the gurdwara and temple shows that tension within the Indian diaspora are growing, particularly over the issue of Khalistan. While most people in the Sikh community in Canada are peaceful and just want to preserve their culture, there is a small group that advocates for violence to achieve their goals.